Okay, so let's talk about Thor Love and Thunder's post-credit scene because this is something we have to talk about. This is definitely setting up something that I never expected to hear about in the MCU, but here we are. So, before we get into this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Let's get to 25,000 subscribers. We will do a giveaway. But I think that we really need to discuss what the hell is Thor 5 going to be about after this post-credit scene. So if you haven't already watched my ending explain for Thor Love and Thunder, definitely go check it out. You definitely don't want to watch this video if you haven't watched the movie because there will be spoilers for the ending. But let's give a brief rundown of what happens in the movie. So a little backstory on how this post-credit scene fits into the story that we saw during Thor Love and Thunder is, remember when they went to go find Zeus for help with Gorr? So pretty much Zeus pops up back up in the post-credit scene that we see and pretty much calls up his son Hercules, who is going to be played by Brett Goldstein, and is like, I need you to take care of Thor and get some vengeance for me. And that's pretty much the setup for the next Thor movie, which I thought was pretty crazy to hear. Like, I'm telling you, I did not expect to hear Hercules come into the MCU. So I remember a while ago, I think when Age of Ultron, there was these theories and stuff that Hercules was going to pop up at some point here and become this sort of new character that was going to be introduced into the MCU. And I was like, no way, that's going to happen. And then now we have this where we see, hey, Hercules is in the MCU finally. And so I think this addition of Hercules into the MCU is interesting, and I think that they're doing this in the foreseeable future, seeing that maybe Chris Hemsworth is not going to be Thor all the time. I think that Hercules definitely is going to be that replacement for him of sorts, as this sort of like god-like character. And I think that they definitely want to do this, so they're playing it sort of safe still at the same time, keeping the same tones and beats that they had when they move further into their phases. And I think that Hercules, the actor they got to play Hercules, is a pretty good actor and definitely would look the part of somebody playing Hercules, right? So I'm expecting in the next Thor movie we'll probably have like a Batman v Superman type scenario where we'll see like Thor and Hercules dishing it out, especially after what happened with Zeus and all of that. I'm pretty sure Hercules at least wants to get a couple of punches in on Thor, and so I think we'll definitely see a bigger threat come about, and then that's when they have to team up. And I could definitely see in the next Thor movie Thor either retiring or dying of sorts, and then Hercules having to take over for him in that spot with the Avengers. So I think that this post-credit scene not only sets up the next Thor movie, but it sets up a lot for the next phases that Marvel wants to take us down. And I think we'll get more of that talk in the presentation that we'll hear at Comic-Con as well as D23 later this year. So I'm excited about that for sure. Let me know what y'all think about that post-credit scene with Hercules in the comments down below. Our second post-credit scene actually sees Jane Foster meeting up with Heimdall and Valhalla, and I thought that was a great way to send off Jane Foster, wrapping up her story, giving her a great arc if you think about it from Thor 1, 2, and up until now. I think that they did such a great job with her in this movie as well, and definitely hit those beats of like just strings of your hearts being pulled with it. I think that they did a good job also bringing Heimdall back, giving him a send-off there as well, which is definitely what we all wanted to see as well. So like I said, these post-credit scenes definitely did their job, and I think the Hercules one for sure is the one everybody's going to be talking about, because like I said, Hercules has been theorized for so long, all the way back from Age of Ultron. I remember it. So I think it's cool, and I definitely think, like I said, it's not just setting up the final Thor movie. I think it's setting up Hercules being this new character that we'll see. So Hercules, like I said, has been part of the Avengers in the 60s comic run as well as other runs as well, and I think that this is definitely a replacement for Thor, as we see She-Hulk taking that step for Hulk. We saw Captain America, the same thing happened. We're gonna see Iron Heart. So I think that they really want to set up this like new character group, and I don't think the Avengers are going to be the only group from here on out as well, but I think that these characters will definitely be the Avengers archetype of sorts that will maybe come in with the X-Men at some point, Fantastic Four also. So I don't know. We'll definitely see, I feel, in the future, like Avengers movies, but they won't be like a tentpole type movie like we see with Age of Ultron or Infinity War Endgame. It'll be like another Iron Man type movie. Like it'll be a small story just with these characters that do not a necessarily huge threat, but something like that. And then I think later down the road, the tentpole movie will be like Avengers and X-Men versus blah blah blah, or Avengers and Fantastic Four and X-Men versus blah blah blah. Like I think that's the way that Marvel's gonna do it after this phase, where we'll see these characters. So yeah, I could see this team up of the new Captain America, Ironheart, She-Hulk, also this Hercules character, and Ant-Man. You know, like we could see things like that happen. So Hercules is a great addition. I'm excited for this. Definitely excited because of the post-credit showing us this also. So let me know your thoughts and your opinions on Hercules coming to the MCU finally. What do you think about the actor playing Hercules? Are you excited or not? What do you think of the Thor 5 movie being about Hercules versus Thor? Like I said, I don't see it completely being Thor versus Hercules the whole time. I see it like Batman v Superman, where there's like a hidden evil that comes about. So we'll see how that all plays out. But let me know your theories and your thoughts about what Thor 5 could look like with Hercules. Who would you want to see as well be added to the movie? Who could be the big bad in that? I think that's the most interesting question to think about, right? Because we would need a bad villain that would be definitely like worthy of having to have Hercules and Thor go up against them. Like that's definitely have to be somebody who is menacing, strong enough, all of that. And I could definitely see it being one of the major villains. Could it be Kang at some point? Make some appearance or sorts that makes Hercules decide, like, you know what, this fight between me and Thor needs to chill because there's bigger things out there. You know, that could be a possibility. But let me know your things, what you think is going to be happening here. As always, that is going to do it for me. If you haven't already subscribed. Make sure you hit that notification bell. On the road to 25,000 subscribers. We are about to hit 22,000. So hopefully we can get to that before the weekend. As always, I'll see you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.